What's going on, y'all? So, I know a lot of you have seen this most recent video that I put out, How Does Blizzard Allow This? Going over some account buying and piloting from specifically a player named Baratheon. And there's been, quite the mixed response to the video. So I want to go over some of the responses of this video from not only the pilots themselves, but also from Baratheon. It's pretty funny, to be honest. I had some of the best laughs that I've ever had reading through these comments, and a lot of them I didn't even have to respond to. They got clapped back by the community in the best way possible, because if it doesn't come from me, it hits even harder. So if you haven't checked this video out, it'll give you all the deets, let you know what's going on, what accounts are being used for what. And like I said, the video has done very well, honestly. I think the only video that I have that has been doing better is the video where I talked about the real cost of being a whale. And that video is not niche. I made that video so anybody could watch it, even if you have no idea what Diablo Immortal is. So the fact that this video is doing this well is a good sign in my eyes. So if we go look at a lot of these comments on my video itself, from some of the pilots, like Fee, resorting, of course, to ad hominem, that's just how it is when you don't have an argument and all you can do is whine, calling someone gay for doing nothing. Or maybe me, I don't know, he's calling one of us gay. Just straight up, not even hinting at it. And then Ripper Brawl, another one of the pilots. This guy couldn't tell you how many accounts he's piloted. I don't know what he's doing to get them. Saying, dude's still salty about Knight inviting his girlfriend to the clan. He a fan. So Baratheon has this guy singing. He's in here singing in my comments, you know what I'm saying? So I hit him with that. Thank you for the support on the video. That comment is a lot for the algorithm. What's there to rebuttal? What is there? What am I going to say? And then Fee, of course, again, couldn't stand the fact that I took Gwyn's name out of the video. Maybe you're wondering, why did I take Gwyn's name out of the video? Because she's not a pilot. So why would I mention Gwyn? And the same thing with Ezerith, but we'll get to that in a second. Apollyon Gaming, of course, supporting the cause, mentioning that he's tried to do the same, and he even made a recent video, and he talked about it again, and went over some of the community posts on Reddit, talking about it as well, just to shed more light on this, show his support for this. And then here we go, Fee again. Always the brokies with the biggest opinions. Okay. So I just hit him with 2 comments. Whoa, thank you for engagement. Heart emoji. But I didn't realize that this was the 4th comment. The one above it is the 4th comment that he left on the video. So I edited it. My bad, 4 comments. And at the time, his first comment was like, when I looked at the video, it said his first comment was 2 hours ago. And then I looked at this comment and it said like 16 minutes ago. And then this one was like 19 minutes, something like that. So this guy came back to the video multiple times to leave multiple comments. So not only is that boosting the algo with the engagement, also the watch time. So like, shout out Fee for boosting it, much appreciated. And then of course, another one of them, Pain Marker, or sometimes Pain Maker, depending on if he forgets that there's an R key on his keyboard. Sup fanboy, what's the server? These guys seem nice. Again, thank you so much for commenting. And watching for the algorithm heart emoji. These guys really helped out. Maybe the video wouldn't have gotten so much traction on the YouTube algorithm if I didn't have these comments. And we've got Norn. Norn's not a pilot. He's a funny guy. Just, a good troll. I always appreciate a troll. Like, legitimately, I'm not being facetious. I'm not being satirical. Ban Norn, by the way. And then, like I said, Ezerith. So I don't know, I struck a nerve. I didn't even show his name in the video. I didn't even mention him or Gwyn or their warband or anything. So the fact that he decided to come out of his way to say something is a little weird. The only thing that, holds some weight from what he said is there have been 0 partners kicked out of the program for mentioning piloting or any such nonsense. I was wrong about that. He's right. And the reason I know that is because I talked to Indez. Indez watched the video, react to it on stream, and then immediately called me. He dispelled any rumors that I might have heard, or he dispelled any misinformation that I might have had, and I conceded. Like, what am I going to say? Oh, I was wrong. That's fine. Anyways, I didn't even speak in absolutes in my video because, like I said, I'm pretty sure. I don't speak in absolutes unless I absolutely know. That's just something about me. But anyways, he's trying to say that his team had the most original account owners, right? And so I knew someone was going to have a problem with me saying that Baratheon has bought at least 9 accounts, right? But if you're going to disprove that number, then you have to tell me what is the real number. And I can tell you that it's more than 9 accounts that he's bought. It's just those are the most recent 9 accounts, or those are the biggest 9 accounts. Those are the ones that are being in use right now publicly for everybody to see. So, like I said, I didn't even have to respond. My man DNIF6485 saying, Baratheon original, yourself and Gwyn, only original account owners, and that's somehow a morally strong position. By the way, this is a Blizzard partner admitting that his team is full of shared accounts. What the F are we even talking about? That's what I'm saying, brother. That's what I'm saying. Give that a like. Do you know what I'm saying? So, whatever. Thank you for the comment, Ezrith. Appreciate it. But those are only the comments from the pilots on the video, right? A lot of stuff has been said in streams. You know, I'm streaming every day. Even someone came into Indez's stream while he was streaming to try and say some comments like they can get under my skin. But it's just a video game. Like, what really matters? It's just a video game at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people were saying, oh, what, you should make a video on Kincaid as well. I wish I could, but Kincaid is so much smarter than Baratheon, so Kincaid's not going to have all of his accounts with the name Kincaid as the Blizzard account. He's not going to do that. And if you've been wondering, yes, every single bout of Realms has literally been Baratheon versus Kincaid. And Baratheon loses every single time because, like I said, Kincaid is just smarter. He actually has strategy, even though they're both just rich guys buying a bunch of accounts for these type of events and maybe controlling their servers or whatever. It's literally brains versus brawn. Brains being Kincaid, brawn being Baratheon. And by brawn, I just mean resonance. And brains, I literally mean brains. Kincaid is just smarter. That's why they won so hard. If I had to guess, Kincaid made his teams strategically place lower or whatever, play a little bit weaker in the beginning of the tournament for better seeding or something like that. Because as we saw, which I showcased in the video, at one point, you know, Baratheon's team, 1,300 or no, loss. But also they were getting absolutely destroyed after the preliminary finals began. As you can see by this screenshot right here in my video. This is still all live. But like I said, this is only, you know, reactions from the pilots that are on my video specifically, and, you know, maybe some other people. However, a big part of the reason I made this video is just because this guy, Baratheon, is just not a good dude. And you don't even have to take my word for it. If you've been on my server and you've had the unfortunate circumstances of being in a battleground match with him where you lose, then he's going to flame you. He's the maxed account, but you're the one who's the problem, not him not carrying you. So these are just 2 people. I don't have screenshots of every time this has happened. I can tell you personally that I have clapped back to him in World Chat many times before. This is going back a year even. But you can see this is during one of the Bout of Realms. Don't debuff me, Baratheon. He's messaging someone, which of course I'm going to hide who this person is because it's not about them. So he says, stop queuing. They say, stop hitting on me after you can't carry a match. W. Baratheon says, you're a 9k whale going 1-5. I shouldn't have to carry your brain-dead turd. L. Uninstall, grab a rope, and hang yourself. Hold up. I'm all about free speech, but I don't think that's protected under free speech. I'm just saying. And then the person claps back, beat you last match when you couldn't burn down that tank monk. Baratheon says, you're a clown and a joke. And then this person says, like I said, stop hitting on me, bro. I'm glad you're out, but I don't swing that way. A little bit more eloquently spoken than Fee, just straight up saying, gay ass boy, you know. But Baratheon says, cute, gay joke. I can see you also suffer from Down syndrome. And then, of course, the person says, stop talking to me. I said I'm not interested. And it ends there. And then here we have another person. This is a completely different account that he's talking to. But around the same time, because as you can see, he has the same Bout of Realms title or whatever. Uninstall, you worthless turd. And then this person just says, RUK. And I can tell you that I know who these people are. Baratheon should for sure be carrying this match, not this person. Not in the slightest. But, of course, Baratheon can't handle losing and can't take accountability. So he says, uninstall, worthless turd. But now, I'm just showing you other people's screenshots. I usually don't even like to send other people's screenshots because it can implicate other people. So I'm going to show you one more thing. A legitimate threat against my life from Baratheon himself, which, as you can see, this is his account for mutual friends. Indez, like I said, I was talking to him on his live stream. He had mentioned that at one point he got in contact with Baratheon to try and maybe talk to him. So there you go. That's why they're friends. So that's how you know Obviously, this is his account, and this is a public server. This is not like a hidden server. This is not like a whale server or anything. I'm even in here. I don't even remember when I got in here, to be honest. But he remembers that I'm in here for some reason. I have never said a single word in this Discord channel. But as you see, he says, I can tell you don't know how fast and ugly life can get. One of you dweebs is gonna poke the wrong bear. You live in a place where people disappear for a lot less than I've spent on this game. Sleep on that, homie. As if he lives in an anime world or something. I don't understand how that's supposed to be intimidating. Like, maybe if I was 13, if I was in high school, I'd be like, wait a minute, this guy, my timbers are being shivered or something. So, um, I guess good job. You got the boys out here. They love it, dude. They love it. Even factors over here, 20K, and I can make them go away, bro. So, as long as the people around you love it, I guess that makes you correct or whatever. I don't know. But I think this is legitimately funny. Like it's so funny that this is supposed to be in any way threatening. You live in a place where people disappear for a lot less than you spent on this game. And let me just say this. Obviously, he's not going to do anything. He usually just says things and then people get scared because they don't have that much real world experience. But I can tell you this. Let's say 0.0000001% chance something were to take place. This is so incriminating on his part that it's like it all goes back to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't escape that. If he paid somebody $20,000 to come to my house, we know it's you, bro. Like, I don't understand. Whatever. It's supposed to be a smart guy, CEO, whatever. Like I said, Kincaid wouldn't do this because Kincaid probably understands how the world works a little bit more. This guy's just doing a little bit of MMA or something, and I guess that makes him untouchable. I've been doing fighting sports since I was 11, okay? I was in the Marine Corps. I've been around real killers. And not only just the normal Marine Corps, but also Special Forces. I spent quite some time around Special Forces in the Marine Corps, MARSOC specifically. If you really want to, I can show you my certificates. So I have to, of course, cover my identifying information in the corner. But as you can see right here, Mini Bajluni, that's me. Marine Raider Training Center, Assessment and Selection, Class 22 TAC 1. There we go. Just in case you were wondering. Also, here we go. Corporal Adjaluni, congratulations on your selection for MARSOC assessment. My success at assessment and selection secures my opportunity to train at ITC. Of course, I didn't make it into ITC, but my point is I was just around real killers. I know what it takes to kill. You don't have it in you, bro. You don't have it in you. Even paying somebody to go kill for you. Or paying somebody to go do whatever you're trying to say. I have no idea, to be honest. This isn't an anime. Like, this is real life. So, if that's how you want to say it, hey, by all means, brother. By all means. It's not gonna make me quake. I'm not shivering. It might be a little cold outside. I'm not shivering. And, just to reiterate from the last video, this is the clan he's in. These are some of the people. As you know, Echo Gaming joined in this clan. I have no idea, forget how many months ago, but whatever. And then Uncensored, formerly known as Censored, but I think we all know what happened there. And I oop. Just wanted to give you guys a little update on, what has been happening with this video that I made and the response to it. I think this is hilarious, to be honest. It matters so much. And all I'm doing is just make a little stupid video on the YouTubes. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you all for watching. Again, by all means, share this video around if you found it interesting. Or if you had a good laugh, leave a comment. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.